What's going on, world? You're tuned into the Down Money Show. When you're talking real estate, you're talking money down, you're talking down money. And I'm your host, Ransford, Renaldo. Philadelphia, I'm back in Philadelphia. As you can see, we're at Ray's Reusables. We're out of North Jersey, but this just shows you how the city of brotherly love gets down when it comes to eco-friendly products. Ray, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us. Beautiful shop, by the way.
Thank you. The pleasure's all mine.
Oh, no, it is definitely ours. So, give me a little bit of background about Ray's Reusables. Like, how did this place come to be? How did you start? And yeah, just dive in for us.
So, Ray's Reusables started actually kind of in a different place than it is now. Back in 2019, I was working at Whole Foods, and I just moved up to the city from Maryland where I was teaching, and I left teaching and wasn't planning on going back to that. And was just kind of looking for a creative outlet. So I had this gigantic stack of jeans, you know, when they wear through in the thigh, and like, there's just no saving them. There's nothing you can do anymore. So I was trying to find creative ways to reuse those and repurpose them. So I was making things like tote bags, cutlery, pouches for like on-the-go cutlery.
Wait, tote bags and cutlery bags? You made them yourself?
I did, yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know if that seems like a little lofty, but like I was like figuring out the patterns that I wanted to use for them. So I guess in that way you could say design. I did a couple of craft shows in 2019. At the end of 2019, I was like, okay, goodbye, day job. It's time for me to go and launch my career as a sewist. And in the beginning of 2020, I was like, we're done. And then all of the craft shows that I'd lined up for 2020 fell through. And my last day at Whole Foods was the day that people started panic shopping for the pandemic.
You got out early.
I did, yeah. But then I was like, what have I done?
Every entrepreneur's like moment, I just quit my job.
Yeah. Well, and then I had a whole bunch of friends because I sew were like, can you make me some masks? I can't find masks anywhere. And initially I wasn't planning on selling them because that felt a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But instead of just saying no, I started selling them and donating one for every one that I sold. So I would sell one, donate one to like the hospitals, donate one to just various mutual aid funds. And that quickly snowballed out of control, so I started donating 20% of the profits instead.
Nice.
And then as the pandemic kept going on, I just kept getting more and more frustrated with the plastic I was seeing created. And that had always kind of been in the back of my mind in my personal like reducing waste journey. And I thought maybe one day I would have a shop like this that had eco-friendly, a refill shop, and that carried like the repurposed denim items that I was doing.
So this has really been a long-term thing for you, like a life goal to be in a shop like this.
Well, it has, but I kind of thought it would be a lot longer term, if that makes any sense. I don't think when I left my job in 2020, I don't think that I was planning that I would be here in 2024 and actually here in 2022 when we opened the shop. And in the fall of 2020, we launched this as a van. So we would do pop-ups at farmers markets, at local events, and we would actually bring the refills around in the back of an outfitted cargo van. And we'd have like all the same items that you see here, fewer, but a lot of the same stuff. And that way we were able to go into different neighborhoods in Philadelphia to see like, is this something that people want in this area? And as it turns out they did, so here we are now.
Nice. Well, I think you touched on something really good there, like how it's received. So you're saying the city really did want to recycle. Like obviously you're in business, but how has that been like locally for you?
It's been really, really wonderful. Like I am really grateful that I am in a position where so often people come up to me and say, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Like, I don't know how many people get that in their daily life, but like, it's incredible to just have people walk up to you and say that like all the time. And actually I get recognized in the city quite often, which is a little bit weird, but also kind of fun.
It's very fun. A little fame. Yes, don't let it go to your head.
From the get-go, it was incredibly well received. Like I announced that we were launching it. I had so many people like sharing, letting their friends know, letting their neighbors know, and we would do farmers markets, rain or shine. And I had some markets where I was like, this weather is really, really not cute.
Yeah.
And people would come out in like driving rain with their jugs, like ready to refill, and I was like, real ones, like you're down for the cause. I see you. And it was that kind of dedication that I guess gave me the confidence to set up a place that was more permanent and like physical rather than like a place that you would have to go on a Saturday for 4 hours once a month.
The inspiration behind all this.
There's a lot of statistics that we could look at, but the one that I see cited commonly is that only like 5 to 9% of plastics that are sent to recycling actually get recycled. So it's not a great solution. So the inspiration for this was just to try and help people reduce that as much as possible. And then provide solutions for the places where they're not able to reduce it. So we actually host a variety of like specialty recycling programs in the shop. People can bring in flexible plastics from things like, I don't know, snack wrappers, cheese bags, like the things that you really can't get away from buying in plastic. A lot of food items, bubble wrap, those Amazon bubble mailers. We host like a free drop-off. It's sponsored by the community, so we partner with a local niche recycler, and people are able to drop those things off. We offer a couple of other like recycling programs for things like corks, bread tags, twist ties, etc.
Talk to me about your products. Like, what products do you carry in store? What products do you outsource?
Gotcha. So most of the products that we carry in store are not ones that we make in-house. The bulk refills are from a couple of different companies. We largely source from independently owned smaller businesses, family owned, and we try as much as possible to keep it within like as local as we can, but then within the continental US and Canada. Certain items you can't really do, like bamboo. You're not going to find like locally sourced bamboo items.
Really? You don't know any?
I know.
Are they doing bamboo?
All of the bamboo that you see in Philadelphia, but it's more difficult than you would think. But we preference materials that are biodegradable. So that means like when the product is done, you can just chop it up and toss it in your compost bin. And then for the products that we make in-house, we make paperless towels, which are like a cloth paper towel alternative, but they roll up and pull off just like paper towels. So if you're trying to retrain your brain, it can be a really easy way to like just swap that out and have it feel very familiar.
And what are they?
So do you want me to grab one and show you?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So they look just like paper towels, and like I said, they actually cling together and function just like paper towels. So
But they're cloth.
Yeah, you can just have them on your countertop. What I did when I started like reducing waste is I just like stuck these on my counter where my paper towels were, and then hid my paper towels. And that way you have to kind of take like an extra step to be like, okay, does this require something that's disposable, or can I just use this and wash it afterwards?
And you wrap these back up after.
Yep, you just lay them flat and then roll them one at a time. It's one of our most popular products actually, and it's one of our lowest waste products because any offcut when we're making this just gets chopped up and composted. And it's not really known, but like a lot of thread that you have in textile manufacturing is a polyester thread, but we make sure that we use a 100% organic cotton thread, so the entirety of the towel is compostable at the end of its life.
Yeah, this is big.
Yeah.
New parent, and I'm telling you, every kid in America is allergic to polyester.
Oh, really?
It will break their skin all the way out.
Oh, you know what? I hadn't really heard so much about like allergic reactions to polyester, but that makes sense.
Well, I don't know if it's every kid, but
Your kid.
my kid. You spoke a little bit about the community and how you've been received. What type of community engagement do you guys do?
In the past, we've done like, we call them plastic-free potlucks. They're not necessarily plastic-free, but it was just a way to get people who were interested in sustainability like into the same room to like talk to other people who are also interested in sustainability. Because I've had a lot of people express to me that it can feel a little bit isolating when you're like, don't use that plastic bag. Here, I have this, and then your family's like, yeah. You know, like it can feel a little bit isolating when you're the one championing it and your family's not necessarily on board.
Everyone's just like, let me live my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me go about my day, please.
So having everybody get into the same room and be able to like chat with people who have like similar interests and similar goals on reducing waste was kind of the goal with that. And we've done a couple of those so far. We've also hosted like plant swaps. We've hosted clothing swaps. And a couple of make and takes here and there, just to try once again to get people like interested in meeting one another. We also partner with the Bottle Underground, which is another local glass recycler. So we host a drop off for them. People can come and drop off glass up to 200 pounds a week. Please don't go crazy.
One person.
No, like we can only take 200 pounds at the shop, but we were getting like 400 pounds a week.
Okay.
So we had to be like, please stop bringing this so much.
Now, this is completely off track, but I really want to know how much those are. The paper towels.
So the 12-pack on the roll is $36, and then we've also got like a 6-pack size that's $18. We've got a 12-pack that's just folded, and that's $35.
So if I wanted to make an entire roll of those, how many packs do you think I need, and how long do you think they'd last for me?
So it kind of depends on, like, you said you got kids, so, like, I feel like kids make everything last a little bit less long, you know what I mean?
You're right.
So, like, you're probably, like, cleaning up the face, cleaning up the spills.
Cleaning up everything.
Exactly. So it kind of depends on, like, the best way to do it would be, like, see how many paper towels you use in a day. Because there are some uses where, you like, if you're just drying your hands, or just, like, drying up a spill, you might let it dry and then use it on the countertop again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think between 12 and 24, if you've got kids, maybe 24 is probably a good place to start, but start with 12 and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then in terms of, like, how physically long they will last, some of the ones that we just pulled off of there are ones I made in 2019.
2019, and
Yeah.
they're still going.
Yeah, as long as you're not using them with anything, like, really abrasive, like scrubbing baking soda
Yeah.
with them.
Like, it's not scrubbing, it's a drying, soak up.
Yeah, I mostly use them as, like, napkins at mealtime, doing a little, like, spray and wipe on the countertop, maybe, like, drying my hands a little bit. You can use them to clean up spills. I personally like a Swedish dishcloth for that, just because they're a little bit more absorbent. But yeah, they're super, super versatile.
And how are they on glass?
They're good. They are a cotton fiber, so because it's woven and it is a little bit linty, you might end up with, like, a little bit of lint, and I use them to clean glass.
What's your long-term goal for Rays? Like, what's your dream? Like, let's say, pie in the sky.
I think a lot of people think about success as, like, expanding, and, like, doing more and more and more and more. And I think I just really want to create a place that feels, like, welcoming to people. Like, I want to continue to grow and offer, like, more refillable options for, like, maybe some of the things that are even more difficult to find in bulk. I just really want to continue to act as a resource in the neighborhood. Like, I don't think I necessarily want to have multiple locations. I don't want to have, like, a Reusables empire or anything.
Really? Well, I think we need it. I think somebody has to take the bull by the horns and build a reusable empire.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm in a Facebook group with a lot of other businesses like mine. Actually, Good Bottle and I are in the same Facebook group.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who are doing the same thing. They're popping up all over the place. Like, every week it seems like there's somebody that's like, I'm opening my shop here, I'm opening my shop here. So I think that there is already that impetus kind of in the air. And I think that rather than trying to spread far and wide, I would rather make this the best that it can be. And if eventually it seems like something that has the momentum and the entropy to, like, go further, then I can see it. But we're kind of, like, hunkering down here and working on expanding our product offerings that we make in-house rather than expanding the actual store more. Because we already do the pop-ups too, so that kind of acts as, like, that almost feels like having a second location.
Back to just you, being an entrepreneur, building this shop, like, what would you say to other people like you that maybe want to start a shop or just kind of want to go after something?
I would say nobody knows what they're doing. Like, before I started this, I was like, everyone who has a business has, like, this business degree. They all had a plan. They all went in and they knew exactly what was going to happen and they knew exactly what they were doing. And I'm here to tell you, they don't. Not a single entrepreneur that I know has been like, I know exactly what's going on. I think that embracing, like, a messy middle is a really great thing to do, and, like, it can feel really scary, and it feels very scary for me often. But I think leaning into that and leaning into your resourcefulness is really where a lot of entrepreneurs shine. And I think that the most successful entrepreneurs that I know are the ones that get scared and see a problem and then see a solution to that problem and, like, push through it and find that solution. And also reach out to, like, I think the most useful thing I did was get really comfortable with reaching out to the city officials and being like, what do I need to do for this?
That's big. Asking for help.
Yeah.
Having the wherewithal to do it.
Yeah, I found I was really fortunate to find, I always recommend score.org. They're a free national mentorship program for entrepreneurs. It's the retired entrepreneurs, the mentor new entrepreneurs. And my Score mentor, shout out Gary O'Brien, was really helpful for me when I was setting up and trying to figure out what I was doing. And he has directed me to a lot of resources that have kind of given me a lot of information, pushed me in the right direction.
How does the community get involved if they want to? Someone out there, they see this, they want to get involved today. What can they do?
If you're in Philadelphia, you can find us in our storefront in the Northern Liberties. That's 935 North 2nd Street. We also do pop-ups every week. So we are in Clark Park the 2nd and the 4th Saturday of every month. We're at East Falls Farmers Market the 1st and the 3rd Saturday, so you can always find us there. We don't bring everything out with us to the farmers market, but we can always bring a pre-order. So if you have something that you know you want, you can always let us know and we'll bring it for you. And then you can follow us on Instagram at Rays_Reusables. We're not the Alaskan thrift store. We post about the events that we're doing a lot on there. We'll share like tips and tricks on what you can do with like different zero waste swaps. And we also have a website, www.raysreusables.com. Those are the best places to connect with us. And then in terms of becoming involved, if you're not in Philadelphia, I would say just like look, if you Google like zero waste wherever you are, usually it'll bring up some options that are pretty close to you, or like sustainable wherever you are.
Very cool, very cool. You're not hard to find, is what it sounds like.
I try not to be.
There you go. And last question, what do you think about the show, and would you come back on?
This show seems like awesome. Like I would definitely come back on. It's very professional.
Oh, well, thank you for your time. You're professional.
Yeah, you've been great to chat with.
Cool, cool. Well, world, that's our show. You're tuned into the Down Money Show. When you're talking real estate, you're talking money down, you're talking down money. And we're out.